Congratulations to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso engineers, in collaboration with this military ruler, they come out with manufacturing with 500 electric bus. This is why we cannot stop talking about his Excellency Captain Traore. Because look at how people in Africa are against him. Example, the democratic leaders and ECOWAS, look at how they are against him. They put all their efforts to bring him down, and he's still proving them wrong. He's still showing results. This is why we cannot stop talking about him. We love the work that he's doing, and every country citizen need leader like him. He's doing things which is unexpected. He's showing them wrong. He's showing good results which democratic leaders cannot even attempt to do. Let us be frank, because some of the leaders in Africa, when they was against him, and he's showing results, and then they just put their effort for against him. They are not even showing any results because we are seeing everything. And the good news about it is he said they are going to do the price very reasonable for the Africans to make it easier to buy this cars. So any country which is in need of this electric bus, if you go to Burkina Faso, you will get your own. And he then further said, upon all the threatening, people are leaders in Africa, some of the leaders in Africa are threatening him, are oppressing him. That doesn't mean that he should not perform well to the country. And he said he is there to make the people of Burkina Faso feel the governance of his regime. Wallah, this man is something else. Let us watch the video.
Difficulties it has never known in its history. And to overcome, we need to have patriots, citizens of tomorrow.
Burkina Faso just built 500 electric buses, without foreign aid, without imports, and without anyone noticing. How did one of Africa's poorest nations pull off what even rich countries struggle to do? Let's find out. They didn't arrive in containers. They didn't come with foreign technicians. And they didn't have a Made in China label stuck on the side. Every single one of Burkina Faso's 500 electric buses was conceived, designed, and constructed on home soil, a feat that has left even seasoned engineers across the continent stunned. But what makes this even more remarkable is not just that it happened, but how it happened. This wasn't the result of a single government contract or flashy NGO pilot. It was the outcome of years of quiet groundwork. Vocational schools training local engineers, communities organizing around domestic innovation, and a political leadership willing to bet on its people instead of foreign consultants. While much of Africa still relies on assembling foreign-designed vehicles under the illusion of industrial progress, Burkina Faso skipped the illusion and went for full reality. At the center of this homegrown miracle is the Ouaga 2000 Industrial Corridor, once known for half-completed infrastructure, now transformed into the beating heart of Burkinabe innovation. Here, young engineers, many in their 20s, worked in collaboration with local artisans and electrical technicians to design an electric vehicle from scratch. These weren't elite Western-educated elites flown in from abroad. These were youth trained in Burkina Faso's own vocational and technical centers, most of whom had never stepped outside the region. What they lacked in international experience, they made up for in intimate knowledge of local challenges: heat, dust, unreliable power grids, bad roads, and economic constraints. Instead of copying Western models, they reimagined what a bus should be for their terrain. The result? A vehicle that runs silently across broken roads, consumes zero fuel, and costs far less to maintain than its diesel predecessors. Even more astonishing is what they didn't need to get here. No IMF funding, no World Bank consultants, no bilateral technology transfer agreement. While most African states wait years for foreign partnerships and feasibility studies, Traore's government simply gave local minds the freedom and support to build. And it wasn't just a technical endeavor. This was a political risk. Many advisors warned that without international backing, the project would fail, that the West would not like it, that it would be mocked. But the government pushed forward anyway. They funded the project from internal revenues, built their production plants, and allowed local teams to experiment, iterate, and adapt without red tape. Now, the result speaks for itself. A fully electric, solar-compatible fleet that doesn't just serve commuters, but stands as a national declaration. We don't need to wait for the world. We can build our future. And this isn't the end. It's the beginning. Because once you prove you can build the machine, the next question is, how do you power it without polluting the very land you're trying to protect? They built the machine. Now they had to give it life. But in a country where electricity is patchy, fuel prices are volatile, and dependency on foreign energy imports can derail entire budgets, what kind of power could keep 500 electric buses running every day? The answer wasn't found in oil barrels, diesel reserves, or even national grids. It was found overhead, in the sun. Let's pause for a second to say, big thank you to the Black Culture Diary community, where Black voices, stories, and legacies are preserved and amplified. By becoming a member, you're not just supporting the channel, you're becoming part of a powerful cultural movement. Let's continue. Instead of plugging into the same old colonial energy models that have kept much of Africa dependent and undersupplied, Burkina Faso tapped into its most abundant and underutilized resource, solar energy. And they didn't stop at putting solar panels on buildings. They built a decentralized solar charging infrastructure specifically tailored for these electric buses, establishing a clean, renewable system that feeds directly into their operations. Each bus, part of the Itowe fleet, can travel up to 330 kilometers on a single charge, but what's more impressive is how fast they're recharged. In just 30 minutes, a bus goes from flat to full using high-efficiency solar stations installed at key transport hubs. That means no queuing at gas stations, no reliance on the grid, and no waiting hours for batteries to juice up. Instead, it's a seamless cycle of clean energy, captured by the sun, transferred to lithium systems, and stored for public mobility. This solar infrastructure wasn't outsourced either. Traore's administration had already begun investing in solar power independence in rural regions, and that expertise was brought into the urban transport system. By connecting solar microgrids with public transport corridors, they've created a parallel energy ecosystem that doesn't need to beg for fuel from foreign suppliers or crash when global prices spike. The impact? Immediate and measurable. Transport operators who once burned through thousands of CFA francs per week on fuel now report savings that go straight back into their families and local economies. Portable innovation. And now the orders are beginning to come in. Neighboring countries with aging diesel fleets and ballooning urban populations want Itowe buses for their streets. But they don't just want the vehicles, they want the entire ecosystem, the solar charging stations, the mobile apps, the predictive maintenance tools, and even the training programs for once dreaming of leaving for France or Canada, are now lining up for engineering OUA complex. And this changes something deeper. It changes imagination. Because once you build something your neighbors want, you stop seeing yourself as a beggar at the table of progress. You realize you can be the chef. So now that Burkina Faso has built, powered, digitized, and exported its electric fleet, the final question arises. What does this mean for Africa's future? And can this one fleet become a political symbol for a continent tired of waiting? When Traore's administration rolled out the Itowe fleet, they released more than vehicles. They unleashed an idea whose time had come. For decades, Pan-Africanism has been discussed in speeches and summit communiques, but rarely embodied in a tangible product you can board,